Every time Truly Adams climbs into a race car, he's that much closer to realizing his lifelong dream.
When I was 4 years old, I wanted to be a Formula One driver.
11 years later, Adams is as close as he's ever been to making his dream a reality. In fact, this weekend, he returned to the NOLA Motorsports track to race in his first ever Formula 4 event.
It was pretty funny. I ended up racing here about 2 years ago in a series called TSRS, and I actually did pretty well around here.
Back then, he was tearing up the karting track. He's graduated from that to the bottom rung of Formula racing.
He's got a huge goal, and so, the responsibility is on him.
Adams comes from a racing family. His dad raced lower-level NASCAR for years. But when it came to truly getting behind the wheel, it wasn't his dad that gave him the extra push.
Definitely was not mine. With the wife, she was excited. We're at the go-kart track, at another kart track, and people came up and said, hey, does your son want to race? And I'm obviously saying no. And then she says,
I was like, of course, we're here. What harm could it cause? And now look.
Truth is, Truly has been really good in a short amount of time. In 2025, he became the first American to make the podium at the F4 finals in France, which is a major proving ground for future Formula drivers.
I'm coachable. I can learn pretty quickly going into a car, and I feel like that's helped me a lot. I've only been in a car now probably 6 times, and I've progressed pretty quickly. So it all just depends on how much effort and work you want to put into this.
And what he's put into it, he continues to get out of it because this sport really is a full-time job for the Adams family. Dad's his main coach. Mom keeps him on task with his studies since he's on the road for more than half the year. And Truly's main responsibility, continuing to show that he can handle all that this sport continues to throw at him, including being looked at as a role model by kids that look like him.
We do talk about it because there's not a lot of kids that look like him. And so the responsibility is just being a good human. And the goal is if you're being a good human, then you'll be a good role model. Not to do anything different than who you are or what you are. And that's really what we focus on.
You don't see a lot of, black kids racing at all because it's a very complex sport. And not many people know about it. Yeah, I want to be that guy that, other people can look up to, but I also have to make it.
From NOLA Motorsports Park, I'm Juan Kincaid for The Final Play.